Welcome back to the Guber Talks. My name is Justin,
I'm Gavin.
and we are the Guber Boys, the GG Boys. I don't know. We don't have a name for ourselves yet, do we? Besides our actual birth-given names.
Our Christian names.
Our Christian. Speaking of, how was your Easter, Gavin?
Had tacos.
Is that our traditional Easter?
No.
Okay.
We just had tacos because no one wants to cook.
Where were the tacos from?
I think it was just a bag of meat just thrown in like a crock pot.
We went to Taco Bell.
Yeah, some people brought tomatoes, some people brought salad, guacamole.
Nice.
And you just mix it all together.
Nice.
Like my grandpa brought a box of those mini Dorito bags, you know? And so I just made a walking taco. I crushed it up in there. I didn't see anyone else doing it. I'm like, you guys are stupid. This is the delicious part.
I think when I went to Orlando, I used to live down in good old Florida. No one knew what walking tacos were.
Yeah.
Is that like a Midwest thing?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Okay. We're just like lazy as hell. We're just like, hey, let's just open up this bag of Doritos and throw just nasty meat in here.
Yeah. When I first learned about it, it was like back in Little League. We'd, end a game or something, be like, you want a walking taco? And first time I heard that, I thought it was just like tacos in like, one of those like paper boat things that you just carry food around. I'm like, it's just tacos. And then they hand me a bag of Doritos. I'm like, I wanted tacos.
Someone told me that you had to walk and eat it. Therefore, it was a walking taco.
It was the rules,
sense.
Yeah.
You couldn't sit and eat it.
No.
It's called a walking taco.
The only problem is those Dorito bags are not like super insulated, so the heat just goes right into your palm and it burns you. That's why you gotta eat it quick.
Yeah, because maybe that's why it's walking taco. You just gotta eat as fast as you can. But that might be like sprinting tacos. Someone needs to rename these things. Because it doesn't make sense.
We're now upset about the names.
I'm upset about these small town things. But anywho, welcome back to the show. It's obviously the day after Easter, since we just talked about that. But also, we're gonna go a little. I don't know what the topic, I should say, of the week is going to be Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've heard of this. Have you heard of this show, Gavin?
I've heard about it once or twice.
Okay.
I know it was like a webcomic that got spawned into a miniseries.
Oh.
And then
Same people also created Spawn.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And then now, apparently, it's a book. Like, they wrote a book based on the show.
I thought it was originally fan fiction of Twilight.
That makes sense, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah. Has anyone made fan fiction of the Bible? Is that a weird thing to say?
VeggieTales.
Oh my god. Vegetables.
We're going to make a lot of people mad saying
I know
about the books.
That, and we're going right at Christianity.
Just hardcore.
Yeah. No, anywho, big show. Obviously, everyone and their mother knows about it.
Yep.
It premiered last week. We didn't cover it last week because we recorded right before it.
Yeah, we made the stupid decision to record on Sundays before the episode comes out.
Learn the hard way that way. Well, I feel like we should probably do these on like maybe Monday.
Probably, yeah.
If we're talking about Game of Thrones, at least for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then we can do whatever we want. But yeah, it premiered last week. I guess we should just go more into the first episode. Along with that, we also had, or at least Tali and I had, some of those Oreos, which tasted just like Oreos.
Oh, I had some of those too. Yeah.
Game of Thrones stuff on it. And then I had a good old Johnny Walker's White Walker, which was actually very delicious. So I still have that, and I'm trying to find the rest of the Game of Thrones alcohol because I'm an alcoholic. No, but episode 1. What'd you think? Let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, obviously, if you haven't seen the episodes yet.
Oh, yeah, spoilers.
We're going to be spoiling the entire thing.
If you don't want to know any spoilers about anything, skip to this time frame.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
Yep.
Yeah, so last week's episode, let me think back to what happened. So, Dany and Jon went to Sansa. They met up with Sansa. Sansa, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Sansa.
The Sansa.
So that was interesting. My impression on their whole relationship is that obviously Dany and Sansa don't like each other, or they're kind of conflicting. That kind of showed up again in this last episode.
Yeah.
My prediction is that they're gonna do whatever they do to the White Walkers and the dead and all that. They're gonna beat them or whatever. That's like a side storyline, and then the real storyline is gonna come after that when it's gonna be those two fighting against each other. And then John's going to be stuck in the middle trying to decide who he's going to side with.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think I have some theories, but I'll go more into that in the next when we talk about episode 2.
Okay.
So the first episode, they go to Winterfell, and mostly focused on Winterfell, which I was all about. It was very like reminiscent of the first episode of the whole series, when like the Lannisters arrive at Winterfell, and similar arrival of sorts. I really liked it though. I'm gonna make this, say this right off the bat. I liked the first episodes a lot, personally. I know there's not a lot of action, but there's a lot of good dialogue between all the characters, because from here on out, it's just gonna be straight fighting and death, and everyone's gonna die. Which we'll go more into episode 2, specifically about that. But the first episode was really good at just setting things up. I think it was a good, not necessarily like a filler episode, but they had to set up a lot. They had to set up what's going on, and everyone's just coming in one spot in the first, within the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call it a filler. If anything so far is a filler, it's it's episode 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, first one, because they had to kind of bring together everything from the end of the last season, and then kind of wrap up all of that while starting the new storylines. And I do like how in the first episode they had Sam tell Jon who he actually is. They didn't like,
prolong it.
Yeah, they didn't wait for that.
I'm glad. They just need to take care of it. Let's take care of business, because we have stuff to do. Like, we have 6 full episodes of the season. Granted, we're 2 episodes already done, so we have 4 episodes left. It's gonna be nuts.
But we get an extra 20 minutes with the remaining episodes.
God. Yeah, genius.
A quick rant.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wish on HBO, I wish the next episode preview and then the look back at this episode thing, I wish that wasn't connected to the episode, because when I looked at the timeline or whatever,
you think it's longer, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like the dead started showing up, and it was like, oh, you have like 18 minutes left. I'm like, oh, this is enough time to like get something started.
Yeah.
And then they cut back to some dialogue, and then credits roll. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I look, and there's still like 11 minutes left. I'm like, next time.
That's what I said, because we paused it because we got pizza like halfway through the episode. And I paused it, and I was like, oh, we have half an hour left. Like, it's already nighttime. Like, stuff's going to happen. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot about the whole preview and the behind the scenes part.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need to stop doing that, because it deceived me for a moment, and I forgot about that. Because like, we used to watch it at my parents' house, because they had HBO, and they'd buy it, and like our whole family would come over and watch it. But back to the first episode, that was really good at setting things up, and there's a couple things I forgot. Like, even for one, when Dany meets Sam, and she was like, oh, by the way, I killed your dad and your brother. I was like, oh, that's right, that did happen. Because so much happened last season.
Yeah, he took it, I guess, rather well, all things considering. Yeah. But it kind of fits with his character. He's kind of timid and shyish and all that. But yeah, when she was like, oh, basically I had my dragons eat your father, and he's like, well, at least I can go home to my brother. And she's like,
how about that? Yeah, I was like, oh
no. And then he's like crying, and he's like excuse me, and he runs off. And then they just stand there. And
I think one thing that I am bothered by, and I don't know if we talked about this before in Game of Thrones, but Bran. I hate Bran. I hate Bran.
I've hated him from day one. Yeah. Granted, so the last couple episodes, I like him a little more, just because, not because of his character, but because of what are the other characters thinking about him and all that, and how they all revolve, like especially with Jaime.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as episode 1, he rolls around and he just talks in monotone. I'm like, dude, I don't care about you.
He's literally a walking plot device. Well, not like a literal walking.
He can.
Rolls, yeah. But he's just, I don't know. Like, to me, his story arc is not interesting. In the books, it wasn't interesting. And now they're just kind of forcing him to be just what he is. Like, again, a walking plot device. I don't like that. I think it's kind of wasted, and it's just kind of annoying. Because, granted, he knows how everything's going to end, because he sees everything. So it's like, what? Why don't you just tell him? Like, help him out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
so, can he see the future?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Because I know, obviously, he can see the past and, like, all that stuff, and he knows what's going on.
I think it confirmed it when he was talking to Sam, when he told Sam, like, you need to tell Jon about who he is. And he's like, well, what are you doing? He's like, I'm waiting for her friend. And it's like, oh. So obviously he can see that Jaime was coming.
Yeah.
Because I just can't stand him.
No. I did think it was interesting in episode 2 when someone asked if Dragonfire can beat the White Walker, the Night King, and he's like, I don't know, no one's tried it. I'm like, yeah, good point.
I'd assume so.
Well, see, I was assuming so, but then the fact that they said that makes me think otherwise now.
Yeah, they dropped some things that I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Well, again, episode 2. But yeah, that episode, the first episode, I liked how it ended. I think the first 2 episodes were really good. But with the first one, I didn't like any of the Cersei stuff. I don't care right
Honestly,
now.
I'm trying to think what... I know she was in it, but I'm trying to think what happened.
They showed Euron, so Theon's uncle.
Right, the dude with the like mutton chop thing.
Yeah. He had his Theon's sister, which I can't think. Starts with Y.
Yep.
Why?
I have no idea her name.
That's
I
a
can
hard
picture
one
her,
for
though.
me. Yeah. So Theon rescues them, which is the guy from Always Sunny.
Which one?
Who's the guy that fluctuates in his weight all the time?
Oh, Rob McElhenney?
He's in it.
Really?
Yeah, he gets shot in the face with an arrow for like a brief second. I don't watch the show, so I've seen some episodes, but I haven't really
it's funny.
Watched all of it. I need to.
If you like that dark humor stuff, it's good.
But he was in it, and then Theon rescued her. And then Theon's like, I'm going to Winterfell. And it's like,
yep.
Okay.
And then, because I remember him talking to his sister, and his sister was like, oh, we're going to lead this army. And then he's like, I don't want to.
That makes no sense, though. I thought she was all about, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. I feel like some things are just like, well, why don't you just help? Like, they're like, we need to go back to the Iron Islands and defend him. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I thought you were all about helping out Dany originally, but with Cersei, all that time that it was like her and Euron flirting and whatnot, or Euron trying to sleep with her.
I remember, yep.
I didn't like it for the fact that it was wasting time.
Yeah.
Like we had stuff to do. And the only thing I liked about the King's Landing thing was Bronn. So the guy...
I like Bronn.
Yeah. What's his name? Gave him that bow.
Yeah, like her hand or her advisor or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is a hand. I forgot about that.
I forgot about that until now. That will be interesting because... So that's another one of those things where how obviously it's fiction, so anything they say is written in for a purpose, or at least it should be.
Yeah.
So when like everyone first arrived, or maybe it was last season. It was the end. It was the last episode of last season, or the episode before that, when everyone went to King's Landing to meet, and they brought the dead body. Yeah. So when they all met there, Bronn and Tyrion met up and were talking, and then they had a conversation about who Bronn fights for, and he said, I fight for whoever pays me. Basically, he's like, I don't fight for, I fight for myself and who pays me. I don't have allegiance to one side or the other. So like that, and then lead into this first episode of this season when Cersei pays him to kill both Jaime and Tyrion. That'll be interesting to see if he goes through with either side. I could see him killing Jaime probably.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would end up killing Tyrion or not.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things where it can go either way.
Yeah.
Also, when is that going to happen? Is he going to sneak up when like everyone's fighting at Winterfell?
That's what makes me think that Tyrion isn't going to die in the next episode, or Jaime, because then that solves that plot device, or that, whatever. And I don't think they would do that easily without planning for something else. What's going on?
Watch the
phone's going off. So yeah, like maybe, although again, the next episode is 80 minutes long, so there is plenty of time for that battle to take place and other stuff to happen. So maybe the battle will start. I don't know if it'll finish or not, but maybe other people will join in, because they did say that you have until like sunup of the next day or something like that. So that kind of alludes to then sun will rise, so the next day will come. So maybe more people will be arriving during that day,
like a Lord of the Rings reference, like a Knights of Rohan.
Sure.
From Two Towers. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Technically, yes.
I think I've seen it.
I've been in the room while it was on TV.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's like the Battle of the Bastards when I can't think of their names, but like Sansa and Littlefinger bring their people to help out in the last moment. But yeah, what would you give the first episode, like a grade wise? Maybe like a 1 to 10.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to give it like a 9 or 10, because then I feel like I'm wasting it for future episodes. But just based off the episode itself, I'd say probably like 7 or 8.
I say 8.
Yeah,
I think it's a good like season premiere, but not like the best one.
No.
Trying to think what the best one. Maybe last season was so good. Last season was just so much stuff.
The last 2 or 3 episodes of season 7 were, I think, were really good, because it had the big ice battle where they killed the dragon and all that.
So good.
Yeah, and then
Did not see that. Like, I saw it coming, but at the same time, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
because I was like,
it was one of those things where it's like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then he just threw the spear, killed the dragon, and I'm like, oh man. But then he walked up to it and just like patted on its little head, and its eyes turned blue. I'm like,
wakey.
I'm like, oh, okay, that was so. Like this entire fight was set up to that.
Yep.
It's like doesn't matter what else happened.
That, and then like before it happened, I was like, I wonder if he could bring it back. And then I saw the chains. I was like, oh no, they're bringing it back. Yep. And I was like, well, that's how they're gonna get across the wall. Like they have to, if you think about it. Do you? Well, just side note. Do you think when the dragon, Viserion, that's what its name is. I know that.
Okay, sure.
But the ice dragon, was it blue fire or was it ice? Do you think?
It looked like blue fire.
Yeah.
Because I would think if it was ice, they would have animated it as ice.
Ice.
Yeah.
I agree. Some people are like, it's ice, man. You just don't understand. I'm like, it looks like blue fire.
Yeah.
It probably is fire since it blew down.
Just blue, yeah.
Like an ice wall.
Yeah.
Not to be all. Granted, it's a dragon, so I can't necessarily make up things here. But
yeah.
But yeah, I would say an 8 for the first episode.
Okay.
So going on episode 2, I feel like episode 2. I don't necessarily feel like it. It just is. It's just a big episode about character development.
Oh yeah.
And just tying up all the knots and loose ends, I should say, and just kind of paying off everything because these characters are gonna die. What do you think about that?
Yeah, oh man, so it was kind of weird because as I was watching it, like I didn't feel bored, and it was like I had a moment where I thought to myself, I'm like, I feel like I should be bored because all anyone was doing was talking.
Yeah.
But because of who was talking to whom, and the specific conversations they were having and all that stuff, I'm like, I like this. Like this is fun.
Exactly. And it was more. It was good. It was perfect for what it was meant to be. I had someone at work today tell me, it was like, I just didn't like it. I feel like there needs to be a battle right now. I'm like, but we've built up to like 8 seasons of these characters, 7 full seasons, and we're on the 8th one here, and we've spent all this time with them. Let them breathe and let them be characters. Tie up everything. Let them just have their moments because shit's about to happen, and a lot of them are gonna die.
Yeah, we're not gonna see. I'd probably say at least half of the people that were featured in that episode. We're not going to see them again.
Yeah, and that's just how it's going to be. And I loved it. It was a nice, like, it's just like a breath of fresh air before all the chaos.
Yeah.
And it was funny. It was funny as hell.
There was a lot, there was a lot of funny moments. Like one of my favorite lines was when the Hound was talking to the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, the Lord, how will the Lord of Light feel when he brings you back 19 times only for me to throw you over the wall?
It's just, and again, it's that dialogue between the characters that makes it work, and I find it very fascinating. We talked about this before. Arya scene made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like I know, like, you know, technically there's nothing supposed to be weird about it, but it's like I think it's mainly because, and I know other people kind of felt a little weird about it too. I think it's just because when the show started, she was so young, and we watched, and she still looks like she's like 12.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like when that scene was happening, I was watching. I'm like, I don't want this. I'm like, please cut away.
Please stop.
I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, and it's like watching your little sister have sex.
Oh.
And it's just like, I don't want to watch that at all. I don't even have a sister.
And then because in the first episode they kind of teased at it with her and I don't know that guy's name, the blacksmith.
Oh, I can't think of his name right now.
They were like flirting.
Gendry.
Yeah. They were like flirting back and forth, and I'm like, he feels like a lot older. Like he feels like he would be like, you know, her brother-ish.
Yeah, and I even thought that. I was like, granted, I think he is a lot older than her, but he just, since the first time we saw him, like them together, and then now he looks like he's aged way more than she has.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, it was, like, I'm happy because they've always been flirtatious, I guess, in the previous seasons. But
yeah, one thing I did like about Arya was she now has a staff weapon thing,
which
I don't think it's just a staff.
No,
I think there's more to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like those like swinging around like the things. Like I feel like there's gonna be like some sort of like, I don't know,
like
attachment.
Weird. So yeah, going back to episode 1, she hands Gendry a piece of paper with like a drawing on it that is her weapon. She's like, "Can you make this?" And I know like the internet flooded with theories about what it was because the picture made it look like it was 2 pieces. my theory was it was not like a blowgun, but like some kind of like spring-loaded thing where she could shoot out the dragon glass.
Yeah.
And I have no idea if it's that or not. It could be, or it just could be just a regular staff that maybe she can break apart into 2 weapons or something like that to throw. Because she did show off throwing the knife.
Yeah, I feel like it's like the end of it, the tip of it has like a string or something to it that she can swing around or do something weird with it. I don't know.
That'd be cool too.
It'd be really cool. I'm intrigued to see it because I feel like there's like some sort of secrecy to it because they just showed like the little drawing and then her just getting at the very moment.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see it next episode when she just unloads on people.
Yeah. 2 cool things would be, one, if she goes like Darth Maul and
Yeah.
she activates the second side. Or if she does, I know they did it in The Matrix where she plants the pole in the ground and then just spins around and just starts spinning. That'd be cool too. Just starts kicking dead dudes in the jaws.
Awful CGI.
Yeah. Speaking of awful CGI,
Yeah.
I just rewatched in season 7 the episode with the big ice fight, like right before it starts.
Yeah.
They're in kind of that center little ice island. So right when it starts, when all the dead dudes are walking towards them and they're like swinging their axes and swords and stuff like that, there's a moment where there's a guy in the background, I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's like a normal everyday character or what.
Yeah.
But he's an alive person. He's just swinging like an axe or a staff or something, but there's no zombies or dead people around him. Like they forgot to CGI that in. And then like there's like a half a second skip in his animation where he's swinging and then like he just skips a bunch of frames, but no one else does.
What?
Yeah. Like I was watching it. I'm like, wait, hang on. So I had to keep going back to like 10 seconds and just watching it. And yeah, he's like swinging and then he like goes supersonic speed real quick, but there's no one around him.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was great.
Well, that reminds me of like, I think the first episode, there's some guy just walking in jeans in the background apparently. I need to find the actual episode, but it's one of the first 2 episodes or something. I think it might just be the pilot.
Yeah.
But originally, just some guy casually walking in the background with jeans and like the medieval top of sorts.
I love stuff like that.
I love it. What was I saying? Arya. Oh, Arya.
The weapon. And...
Now that they've had sex and she's gotten his weapon, or her weapon, I mean.
No, she got his weapon already.
Leave that in. I think Gendry's gonna die.
Yeah, I can
he's
see
gonna
that.
die real quick.
Yep.
I can see him dying first. And
Yeah.
And some people have theories like since he's a Baratheon and she's a Stark that if he does die and they had sex that
She's gonna have a baby or something.
yeah, she might actually have like the true heir to the throne or whatever. Especially if Jon dies. But I do think that's gonna happen pretty soon because I've seen like the trailer originally has her running around in like little catacomb, like whatever she's at right now.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Something about that too.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I didn't see that damn trailer now because now I'm like, I feel like now that's gonna happen pretty early.
I do think most of that trailer all comes from next episode. Because like there's a bunch of action in that trailer. Obviously, there's like some dialogue too that we've already seen and like people meeting. But I think they left out all the good bits. Hopefully,
yeah, probably that, and then they probably haven't shown anything from the last 3 episodes.
Yeah,
I think they're keeping that pretty tight-lipped.
That'd be smart too. Yeah.
I'm okay with. So yeah, I think Gendry's gonna die. What else?
I think what's his name, Podrick. I think he's gonna. He's gonna eat it.
Yeah.
So I definitely thought. So if they would have started the battle in this last episode, he would have died because there was that moment where Brienne said only half a cup of wine, and then Tyrion dumps him an entire cup, and then he clearly drank more because he was drunk and singing that. I'm like, he's definitely going to be too drunk to fight, and he's going to get slashed or something.
That, and I think they had too much of a good moment, even if there was no dialogue between Tyrion and Podrick.
Directly, yeah.
Yeah, they were just like having it up, and I'm like, damn it, he's gonna die. Yep. Like whenever somebody had a good moment or something, like even like Grey Worm, and what's her name?
Oh, I don't remember her name. I know her
but
face.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
When they were talking like, well, we're gonna go off, and once we survive and win this, we're gonna go off to a beach and yada yada yada. I'm like,
no,
yep. One of you's dying. I could see not Grey Worm dying, but her dying, because like kind of like you would think, I don't know.
Like maybe he goes to protect her in the catacombs or crypt or whatever they're in.
What else happened? Also, can we talk about Ghost?
The wolf?
Yeah, came out of nowhere.
he was just chilling.
He was just like, hey guys, I'm right over here. I said to Talia, I'm like, there's ghosts. Like I don't know.
I honestly feel like that was like a fan service moment because
definitely.
for the last however many 3-4 seasons he hasn't shown at all, and the entire internet's been like, where's Ghost?
He was right before the Battle of the Bastards was the last time you see him, and you haven't seen him last season at all. We don't know where he's at. You even saw Arya's wolf lady. That's her name.
I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because I think Lady's the one that bit Joffrey and then ran away, and then that's when you saw her last season, when Arya's like in the woods and she sees a giant direwolf and it's Lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool. See him back. That was again probably fan service.
Especially because they didn't acknowledge it at all. Like it very well could have been they shot the scene and then they're like, "Hey, put a wolf in there."
Just right there.
Yeah.
And I liked all the moments with Tyrion and Jaime. I liked all the moments with everybody except for Jon and Dany.
Which ones? Because they've had various moments. I haven't liked most of them. So the moment I hated, and I know it was just for kind of like a soft comedic moment. It was in episode 1 where they fly the flying the dragons was cool. Like Jon flying, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But then when they land and then they're like in this like middle of nowhere thing, and Dany just totally breaks her normal character, and she's like, "Oh, we could just run away and move up here and no one would know." I'm like, but your whole life has been based on getting the Iron Throne. Why would you even suggest that? Like, it's not even like, I get it's a flirty thing, but that's way out of character for her.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's why it bothered me, but when they're in the catacombs and he tells her, and then she just takes it irrationally, and she's just upset. Not even upset the fact that they're related, upset more the fact of, well, so you're the king of you're the true whatever of the throne, which again, Jon doesn't want anything to do with that shit. So he does not care.
He definitely should have said that, because like he clearly had a reaction that said like, you're thinking about this in the wrong way. But at the same time, I see her point of view, because it does sound like he's making it up. Because she was like, "Oh, your brother and your best friend told you this."
Exactly.
It's like you have no other proof other than these two people told you, and you believe them, and everyone else in the world thinks that this, that's not true. Basically,
well, shouldn't the fact that he was able to ride a dragon and the dragons were able to accept him so quickly like be some sort of proof? Because
you would think, or it's some stupid connection with
her and the dragons and like allowing them to let him ride them.
Could be anything in regards to that. But I do think that proves the point more, is that they allowed him to ride them.
Yeah, I personally, just that moment in general made me think, one of them might die next episode, and I would not be shocked if that happened.
I wouldn't either.
But
who do you think is more likely? If one of those two were to die, who do you think is more likely to?
Dany.
Yeah,
yep.
I can see that,
because her whole point was again to bring the connection of Targaryen to Jon, and maybe for the fact for him to accept it a little bit more, because again, through all their eyes, the Starks have always known the Targaryens as evil people. Then he meets Dany, and then he falls in love with Dany, and then he finds out he's a Targaryen, and he thinks differently about the Targaryens before he finds this out, therefore proving a point that it's okay to be a Targaryen and Stark, and at the same time he doesn't give a shit about family names. And that's okay, because at this point, who should? Because the whole point right now is to survive, which is what Jaime was saying at the beginning of the episode. But
I liked his kind of revelation, I guess.
What he's kind of got, like his character arc.
Yeah,
it's very.
And he's always been a favorite of mine for the last few seasons. At least,
ever since
not in the
season
first.
3.
Yeah, I was gonna say not in the first couple.
Him and Brienne were on that adventure. That's when his character was developing a little more.
Once he started showing like actual compassion for like especially Tyrion and that.
Yeah. So with Dany, I think her whole point was to again bridge that concept of Targaryen, like family being okay and the ties with the whatnot, but also bringing dragons and an army to Winterfell to defend it. And so with her being gone, I could see that being a little bit easier for them. But at the same time, I can see Jon dying. I personally just feel like someone big is gonna die.
I don't know if Jon will die just because he was brought back to life.
That's what I mean. I
feel like if he was, or if he does die, it has to be in a way that ends the Night King's like reign. Like if he kills himself in the process of killing the Night King, then I can see it. But if it's just a normal battle and he just gets sliced up, I don't think that'll happen.
He's too big of a character to keep or to kill. I mean.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I could see. I don't think Sam's gonna die, but
he did give away his sword.
He did.
Although
I think Jorah's gonna.
I was gonna say I was gonna say Jorah very well could die because
they tied that up beautifully with just him talking to Sam about just about his dad and how his Sam's
and how he kind of got his last advisory words into Dany about trusting Tyrion and forgiving him and all that. So
I'm like, oh, it's gonna bite the dust.
And that could actually be because let's say Jorah dies. If he dies, then I would assume both Dany and Tyrion will live. I think Tyrion's going to live anyway, just because he has more, there's more emotional stake with him and Cersei and Jaime and Bronn and a lot of characters with him.
Yeah.
But if Jorah dies, I think Dany and Tyrion will both live, and then Dany will trust Tyrion more and defend him because of what Jorah said. And he's like, oh, my best friend or whoever he is to Dany, my old ex-advisor or something, trusted you, so now I'm going to.
Yeah, it's just that, and then I feel like either Jaime or Brienne might go.
I could see Brienne.
Brienne got her moment.
Yep.
That's gonna be.
That was a weird smile at the end too.
It was because it's at this weird point where obviously Brienne has feelings for Jaime.
Yeah,
but she doesn't know how to go about them because Jaime had, again, even in the last episode she was talking about like this is our longest conversation. I thought you being a dick to me. So she doesn't know how to handle that, especially with him being such a jerk all the time. But then you also have Tormund, who is my favorite character. That
his whole story about the giants, and then everyone just staring at him, and he's just chugging the milk as it's spilling down his beard.
That was great, and I lived for that moment because it was just all those characters just being like, "Why?" And I loved it.
Tormund's like the guy that always has to one up you with stories, but he doesn't think he's that's just him. That's his persona is just to be that guy, and it's great.
I don't want him to die, but again, I feel like no one's safe.
No.
Maybe Jon, but even then, I could see Jon dying.
Yeah, I mean, I think if
a dragon's gonna die.
You think?
Yeah.
In this very next episode.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see
Drogon, the black one that she's always her main one. Yeah, he'll be good, but I could see the other one dying, which I always forget the other one's name.
I don't know. I only know Drogon.
I know Drogon and Viserion, and then the other one. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
So
he's out. Yeah, he's gonna die. Yeah. So there are a few theories. I mean, okay, there's a ton of theories.
Yeah,
I know one of the bigger ones that kind of sprung up after episode 1 is that. So you know how in episode 2 they end it with Bran telling everyone he's gonna wait in this little tree, and then he's gonna wait for the Night King to come, and then everyone's gonna jump the Night King. Essentially, one of the theories is that the Night King, so all the dead and the White Walkers are storming Winterfell, while the Night King is on a dragon hitting up King's Landing, and he's gonna destroy everyone there, with his dragon.
I would like that.
I know that's a big theory. And when I heard and then I read a little bit about it, I'm like, that's kind of interesting. My hope, I know it's a very far fetched one, and it wouldn't happen. But my hope is that he does do that. He kills, everyone or does whatever he wants to him, turns Cersei into a White Walker, and Jaime and Tyrion both hit up King's Landing after this battle, and that's their reintroduction to her, is her walking down the steps as a dead Cersei. I'm like, that would be great.
That'd be cool.
It won't happen, but
it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cersei, I feel like this is kind of far-fetched. I feel like she is going to make an alliance with the Night King somehow, some way after this battle, and she's going to give up her baby to the Night King. Kind of the whole branding thing that she used to do. How about that? I don't know, but just a theory of mine. I could see it happening. Whether or not it happens is beyond me, because again, I have no idea. I love that aspect of it. But with Winterfell, I feel like it's going to be overrun. I think it's just going to be torn. I think they're going to lose.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to retreat. Or majority, they'll live, but they'll have to run away and
or hide or something.
I don't even think they can hide. I hear the catacombs. They keep talking about putting all the children and people down there.
Yeah.
the dead.
So my hope for that is we get like a horror scene or aspect to this next episode because obviously there are dead people walking around. They're already creepy and like scary enough as they are just being dead. But my hope is that like a handful of them and a White Walker or two make their way into the catacombs, and then it's like 10 minutes of like Resident
Straight
Evil
slaughter.
Yeah. Well, no, just like more suspense horror rather than anything. And I'm hoping maybe like the scene in the trailer with Arya running around. I'm hoping like that is involved with that. Like she's running either from the dead in the catacombs or to people who are there to warn them to like get out however way they can or whatever, set the fire traps. I don't know what they have down there.
Yeah,
you would think they'd have some kind of trap.
You would think. I think the catacombs are gone.
Yeah,
no matter what happens, I think
that makes sense.
Those people are dead.
Yep,
and that involves Gilly.
Yeah, she made an appearance. Sam. She wasn't in like the last season, was she? Or not very much.
She might have been for like a tiny bit.
Because I know she was gone for like a long time.
Because she's with Sam.
Yeah, but Sam kept like referring to her, and then she just popped up in this last episode.
She's gonna be dead. The little Mormon, not Mormon, little Mormon, Jorah's cousin, the little girl. I always forget.
The like leader of her. Yeah. I like her.
She might die.
Yeah,
I see that happen.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to fight. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they had that whole conversation.
Learn that. So that's gonna happen. I think. I don't know. I'm excited. I thought this is a solid. What would you rate it?
So, like after watching it and knowing full well that it's setting up for what's to come, I think an 8.5.
8.5. Yeah, same. I think it was better than episode 1.
Yeah,
I think it's gotten better. I think just this episode, it was slower, and again, it's nice to have that before the longest recorded battle of all time.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? It's supposed to be like the longest ever, more than like the Lord of the Rings battle in Two Towers.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's the longest.
How long was that one? Do you know?
I can look it up. It's long. I'm guessing this is going to be the full, 80 minutes?
Yeah.
Of actual footage.
So yeah, it says the episode length is 80 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts the last 10 minutes of garbage, but let's assume it doesn't. Let's assume the
there's an actual list of all the times, and I just need to look at it sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. I think it was a great episode before this whole giant battle, which I'm so excited. And that kind of leads. Well, actually, do you have anything else to say about Game of Thrones before we move on?
I guess just going back to what we kind of mentioned earlier with Dany and Jon. When he told her, the news.
Yeah.
And so now I have no idea if I honestly believe that there's going to be some type of civil war between her, Jon, and Sansa, Sansa, whatever. And I don't know if it's going to be between now if it's between Dany and Jon, like if they're going to get through this battle, survive, and then she's going to be upset that he's a Targaryen, thinking that he's going to want to steal the throne from her, so she's going to try and like kill him to get the throne.
Yeah.
Or if she's going to accept it, or if Jon says, I don't want this, you can have it, or we can, co-king
That's
and
what
queen
I mean.
this.
Why can't they both rule? I don't understand that.
I think it's the same thing.
It's
like
monarchy.
same thing with Brienne and knighthood. It's just tradition. You can't do that. It's the rules. I don't think anyone's going to argue that with you when you have dragons. But then my other thing is it's going to be Sansa versus Dany, because they already don't like each other.
Yeah.
And that was made clear in this last episode during their little table conversation.
And that's why part of me thinks that Dany could die, because she's pissed off both of them.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily and they left on weird notes that I'm like, if she died, it'd be more meaningful for like Jon, because
I don't know. I don't know if she would. She very well could die sometime in the season. I don't know. I don't think she'll die this upcoming episode, just because then it just leaves Jon and it just leaves the Starks essentially. Even though he's a Targaryen, he's still with the Stark family.
Yeah,
he grew up with them. So it's just then it's going to be them versus Cersei.
Yeah.
And while it's interesting, it's not as interesting as having the three of them fight it out.
Which is another thing why, back to my theory that she could die, is the fact that she taught him how to like fly a dragon. And so
that could be her undoing.
Then, so she could, if she does die, then he would take care of him.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Another prediction. Actually, what do you think is going to happen to Bran? I feel like the Bran situation is going to happen at the end of the battle or towards the end of it.
Oh yeah,
the Night King is going to get there. Do you think he's going to kill Bran? Do you think he's going to take Bran? Because obviously the Night King's not going to lose this.
Not yet.
In my opinion, he'll lose maybe the second to last episode, if he even does lose.
Maybe he'll be sitting on the
win.
throne.
Yeah, exactly.
I know one of the leading theories is that Bran is the Night King, just because he can talk to stupid, or put his mind through animals and Hodors and all that. So I know that's one thing, and there's some weird time travel aspect or something like that. I don't know. It's a bit confusing thing.
Stop with the time travel.
Yeah, I know.
Time travel is okay when you use in small doses, but not when it's
the key
purpose.
element to the entire story. Yeah. Like the only reason why I would be okay with him being the Night King is just because then it will essentially wrap up the entire series into a circle.
Yeah.
And then if there is an actual ending, like if they both die, like at the same time, if like you kill one, the other one dies type of thing, then I'd be fine with it. But if it's something stupid, I'm gonna be kind of mad about it.
Yeah, mad. Yeah. Yeah, that's just gonna be interesting. I think Theon's gonna die defending Bran.
Yep. Yeah, because he volunteered. Yeah. That was dumb because he's not a good fighter. We've seen it 1,000 times.
I shipped Sansa and Bran, or Theon. Well, Sansa, Bran, Sansa and Theon. Right when they started hugging, I was like,
"Oh yeah," and they're
gonna die.
They were on a date at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Last date.
Yeah, but yeah, if that theory isn't accurate, then my guess is that. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like what the most realistic one would be. He very well could just take Bran and kidnap him more or less, so that way he has whatever Bran's power is, and then they go off to wherever else King's Landing or fight off.
Which doesn't make sense to me because they keep talking about how he sent other three-eyed ravens to get at me and stuff, and it's like, why you then? Because I think Bran is like in the books there's like Bran the Builder, and I think that's who Bran is because like that's the person who built the wall and who like started civilization practically in Westeros. But I think a lot of people think it's Bran because obviously the name. But
yeah, and I mean it's fantasy, so it very well could be something along the lines of when the planets align type of thing. It's like it could just be this is the time when he is fighting, so you're the three-eyed raven, so you're the one that's gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Type of thing.
So cool. Well, that ends our 40-minute talk about Game of Thrones.
I mean, we had a lot to catch up on.
No, I loved it. I love that stuff so much. So speaking of people dying this weekend, is there something else coming out this week or weekend? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm done playing around. Yeah, Avengers is coming out.
Yeah, so Avengers Endgame's coming out, unless it already came out by the time this comes up.
It shouldn't be. We should be able to put this out pretty fast.
Hopefully before. We're just going to talk about, I think we talked a little about it, our first episode. Maybe
we touched on it. I don't know if we went into much detail.
We won't go too much detail, but kind of what are you expecting, I guess, going into this? What are your last minute predictions or something? What's a bold? We'll do predictions and then like a bold prediction, something radical. So go at it.
So yeah, like my prediction a long time coming has been, I guess not obviously because we don't know what's happening. Everyone's pretty certain that someone big is going to die, and most likely it's going to be Cap or Iron Man because they're the kind of the leaders of this whole thing, and most people have the most emotional connection to one of those two characters. My guess is that Cap is going to die, but not like in a battle or anything. It's going to be like because another thing is like I guess they're going to be time traveling in some way, shape, or form. He's going to go like they're going to end up back in the 40s when he where he's from, and he's going to stay back there with Peggy, and then
live out his life.
Yeah, live out his life.
What
and
I was
Iron Man,
too.
like the one of the last shots would be Iron Man walking up to a gravestone or some type of memorial that they reveal to be Captain America. Yeah. And then like that's how it kind of ends. If Tony dies, it's definitely going to be obviously fighting Thanos, but it's going to be in some way where he like that's kind of the end of the fight. Like he's gonna. I don't think he would get stabbed again because I already did that and he just healed himself. But yeah, it's gonna like he sacrifices himself in some way that also kills Thanos.
Yeah.
Like the classic thing where they blow themselves up with whatever bomb. Another one is that Cap dies by getting the gauntlet and snapping to reverse Thanos'
Everything.
snap, and
Yeah.
because you saw how much damage it did to Thanos, and Cap doesn't stand a chance against him, so it would essentially kill him by doing it. That's my guess, because I think Cap is the only mortal person, or however you want to qualify them, strong enough to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think Thor would die, because that just leaves too much open for Asgard and all that stuff. I don't think he's gonna die.
I think Hulk's gonna put on the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Hulk.
I feel like Hulk,
His arm
Hulk
would
or
fit.
Thor, yeah, too. That, or they make their own like Iron Man looking
tiny-
gauntlet or something like that.
I could see that. I could also see them all somehow getting the gauntlet from Thanos, stripping the stones off, and each one of them uses the power of a stone, or kind of mix and matches with them.
Yeah,
Kind of like, what is the Power Rangers Voltron? Like, is that when they all mash together? That type of thing.
I agree with the first Cap theory about him going back in time, because that would make sense, and I think that would be a good send off. I think the movie's going to start off just by previews, and it's just speculation. By previews, they go on the ship, and you can tell by Black Widow's hair because it differentiates.
It's red and blonde.
Yeah, so
different
it's
times.
blonde at the beginning of this one part when they're in their ship, and then later it's like red while they're back at the facility. I feel like they're gonna either go to Titan and fight Thanos, and I feel like they're either gonna kill Thanos,
Yeah, just
and then
right off the bat.
right off the bat, and they're
Okay.
like, well, we got to go back and fix everything that he did, because they don't know how to
could
do
see
anything
that.
with the gauntlet, and then they go back, and then they go through time, and then they fix everything. And or I could see like Thanos coming to Earth and fighting them at the Avengers facility too. So one of those two things.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd do that without being provoked too.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
he's, as far as we know, he's done. Like, he has nothing else to
intention to do
do.
anything.
Yeah, he did his job, and he knows that they don't stand a chance against him
Yeah.
if he's like at full power.
Exactly. But I feel like he damaged the gauntlet.
Oh yeah, he heard that and himself quite a bit.
So I don't, because I've seen shots of him with the gauntlet again, and I'm just like, how did he fix it then? So is that later in the movie when they're done time travel? You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird things going through my head.
So I guess what we absolutely know about the movie, from based off what we've seen in the trailers, we know he snaps it. Well, assuming the trailer is accurate. They've lied to us. They've lied to us before.
I don't trust the trailers, especially the whole Tony shaking Cap's hand situation. I think we talked about this once.
Yeah, why don't you trust that? We didn't talk about not trusting it. We just talked about it being a spoiler.
Because he has originally he has like the Winter Soldier's suit.
Yeah.
I think it's the original like bright blue one.
Oh, okay.
I think it's past Cap that he's talking to, because if you look at the suit, it looks kind of CGI'd a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't buy that.
No,
I think he's
possible.
talking to past Steve.
You mean old like past isn't in the past, not like
Past,
not
so,
physically someone standing behind him.
correct.
Okay.
So Tony, like current Tony, is talking when they're time traveled back to New York,
Past, oh, okay. Yeah.
and he's talking to past Steve.
Okay.
Just saying, do you trust me? He's like, yeah, I do. Whatever.
could
But I
see
think that's
He did have a little gray hair going on.
Yeah, so that's just what I think. But what was just like trailer stuff, so I don't trust anything, especially with the Hulkbuster. I don't think the Hulkbuster is going to appear in this movie. I think it's just going to be strictly Hulk.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be Professor Hulk, aka like a
Smart
Hulk.
one.
Yeah, Smart Hulk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's the other thing is they've got 3 hours to answer a lot of
my
questions.
God. That's not long enough.
No,
Make it 4.
Because like not only are they going to have Hulk appear, but they're going to have to explain why he didn't appear before. Which I guess
It's kind of like, it's not said, but it's kind of assumed because he got beat by Thanos and he doesn't want to come out.
yeah,
and fight him.
basically. But then also in Ragnarok, which they kind of backpedaled in Avengers, but in Ragnarok, Banner said like next time I become Thor, I can't become Banner again.
You mean Hulk?
Yes, sorry.
He becomes Thor.
He was talking to Thor. Yeah, he's like, next time I become Hulk, I can't transform back.
Yeah.
But then in Avengers, he did it.
Yeah.
Granted, he did fall a very like long way
Yeah,
through space, but
true.
yeah, he just came back. So
And probably because Hulk was afraid.
yeah, so he
he
kind of
got ass
retreated
kicked.
back to himself.
Yeah, which a lot like, so here's some was it behind the scenes kind of thing, is that Marvel can't make a Hulk movie because Universal still owns the rights to Hulk.
Really?
It's weird.
That's
It's
stupid.
weird, man. So instead of doing a Hulk movie, they've kind of done like a Hulk arc
within
between
the movies.
different movies.
That makes sense.
So it starts with obviously Ragnarok and then Infinity War, just kind of building off that relationship between Bruce and the Hulk.
Okay.
And hopefully, I'm assuming that this movie is going to play more into that and show more of that relationship between the two, and that's probably why he becomes like a smarter Hulk of sorts. So I don't know. Like, I know also a lot of stuff leaked. Apparently, somebody filmed.
I've heard that, and I am not.
I blocked everything on Twitter.
No, so I think I mentioned this the last week or the week before.
Yeah.
So with Star Wars, I block I go on Reddit, I go on Twitter, I put in keywords for everything. I'm doing that with Marvel now too, because we're in the last week. It's like
we have like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm seeing it Saturday morning, so there's a full 48 hours ahead of that that people could tell me about it. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to a single person for 3 days.
I won't say anything because I'm seeing it Thursday.
Yeah.
I probably have to process a lot of it because that's what I do with Infinity War. I just had to process because it's a lot of movie within that like 2.5 or whatever it is.
Yeah, and this one's 3 hours plus. It's like
but I'm just intrigued to see how they're going to bring everyone back because obviously they're going to.
Yeah, that's
no way around that.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like what I find interesting with the behind the scenes stuff, which I stopped watching, is that they just finished up, or I guess they're still going on, but they just last 2 weeks they started their press tour with all the actors.
Yeah.
The only people in the press tours are the people that are in the trailers. Yeah. So, Tony, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, all of them. And I was saying, I'm like, obviously the like Spider-Man and all of them are going to be in the movie at some point, because if they're not, it's like you need this big, huge battle or something with all of these characters. Like we kind of had it in Infinity War, but they were all spread out in different areas. Yeah. So it wasn't really the same.
Which is what I liked about it, because they had like weird pairings of people, and then this movie is going to focus strictly on like the OG Avengers, which I'm okay with. I'm fine with. They're going to kill them. Not all of them, but some of them will die.
Yeah. At least one main cast, and then probably 2 or 3 smaller people. I hope Doctor Strange doesn't die just because I want another Doctor Strange movie.
They're making another one.
Good. I really like Doctor Strange.
They're already developing.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be spoiler, but it could not be. Like they could have it in the past or something.
They're playing hush hush on a lot of stuff, but a lot of the like casting and all the stuff for the upcoming movies have already been leaked. Not leaked, but like obviously, they're not announced, but like people know what's going on. Especially like I have a job. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Why they put Homecoming trailer out months ago? Far From Home. Yeah, Spider-Man.
I'm actually really excited for that. I like Homecoming a lot. The first time I saw it, I did not like it. Yeah. And then the more I watched it, I was like, I like it a lot. But it again, we talked about this, how it doesn't have that feel to it. Yeah. I think Spider-Verse has way more.
Oh, Spider-Verse, yeah.
Spider-Verse.
That's in a whole other league.
Yeah, that's so good. But I'm intrigued to see who they kill off, and I'm excited to see how they bring everyone back. I don't want them killing Thanos. Like initially, like I feel like he'll die, and then somehow
you want like another battle with them.
I feel like he'll come back later. He's too big of a villain to not keep on because I feel like they have a villain problem until recently, and now they're like,
like they've had. So Marvel's weird because most of their villains are just the opposite of the hero. Yeah. But then you get some that are really, really good. Yeah. Like they might still be the like Black Panther.
Killmonger's
good. Killmonger was the exact like mirror image of Black Panther, but his character was awesome. Yeah. Like
I don't think he's dead.
Who, Killmonger?
Yeah.
Why? Didn't he died in Black Panther, didn't he?
He got stabbed and he's like,
oh, did they not actually show his death? No. I thought they did. But maybe I'm
too good of a character not to bring back.
He's a really good character.
I feel like.
Did you see the interview with Chadwick Boseman? He's on like the red carpet for some award show.
Oh, and
then like the reporter's like, so what's happening? He's like, I'm dead. He's like, I don't know, I'm dead. He just keeps repeating that over and over and over again.
Yeah, like one of the highest grossing movies of all of all the MCU is not going to get a sequel. My ass.
Oh no, yeah, it's definitely going to get a sequel at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I even think they confirmed that, right? Not them. Like Marvel hasn't said anything, but like everyone else, like these news outlets have confirmed. Like Ryan Coogler is coming back for Black Panther 2, and Doctor Strange 2 is happening. I think there's a Black Widow movie which is starting to film soon.
Yeah,
and
I don't
can't
care
get around
about Black
that.
Widow.
Yeah, they're like 5 or 7 years too late with that one.
Like I mean, I'm a fan of Scarlett Johansson and and Black Widow in the MCU, but I really don't care about her past or anything.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a prequel.
Yeah, and it's like if you really, really, really want to make it, do a Disney Plus miniseries.
Yeah,
don't make a full movie out of it.
Exactly. Which again, we talked about the Disney Plus series, which are just strange.
Yeah.
Which I'll watch them. Don't get me wrong.
I'll see how they do. Like I'll watch the trailers, see if I want to watch WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm more excited for the Star Wars stuff.
Bucky and the Bird.
Like I said last week, just the Star Wars stuff looks so good.
Speaking of that, because we did talk about the Loki show. Mm-hmm. Do you have any theories about Loki in Endgame?
I don't think Loki died.
I don't either.
Obviously, they're like, oh, it's like a prequel between his times. Like, no, it's not. It's like currents. It could be.
It very well could be.
But Loki's not dead.
Yeah, I think I mentioned. I kind of hope they do touch on that, like going back to the childhood, just because it's funny little stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the main thing, I do think it's continuing on. I don't think they would have given Loki those lines in Infinity War and killed him off in the first 5 minutes if they weren't playing in something bigger for him.
I don't know if I'm just crazy. I've seen other people talk about this too, but when Loki gets strangled, there's like movement of some sort in the top upper like screen, like on the ship. And I don't know if that's Loki doing Loki things, and you can barely see it, but someone's moving up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to watch it.
No one, like, we just watched it last night, and I was trying to pick it up again because when I initially saw it, I was like, I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see them doing something like that. Honestly,
see that. Yeah, that's the hard part. Is that from a practical standpoint, I wouldn't say that means anything, just because that whole thing's CGI, so it could just be something. But then on the exact opposite hand, because it is CGI, you have to animate everything. So someone, if there is like a person or something moving around there, someone had to go in and say like, put this right here, make it flash for 2 seconds.
Of something. If you were like something is revealed later in the next movie, then you'd be like, oh look, it's right there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, not dead.
I know they filmed the movies back to back, so a lot of the actors don't know what happens.
Yeah, because they filmed it. They did it like in a mixed bag, which I personally feel like a lot of actors do know what's going on. Especially like when Paul Rudd's, I don't know the ending. I guess you do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are some that don't.
Oh yeah, but I feel like they play on that way too much, and it's like it's obvious that obviously they do know how it ends.
Yeah,
and
because they want to know if they have another movie deal or anything.
Yeah, I could see Cap though being dead because even he tweeted out like all this heartfelt stuff that he was done.
Well, and Chris Evans hates his life. Like
he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to be Cap. Like he's said that so many. He is more happier with this press tour than he's ever been in the MCU.
Yeah,
because he knows it's ending, and he's like, oh yeah, it's been really great the last 10 years working with all these, or 7 years, how long Captain America's been around for it. Working with all these people and all that. You go back to any other interview with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, Captain America's he's a superhero." He's like, he just does not care.
Things.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, "Oh yeah, this
guys."
He's like, "This is a fun movie," and it's like I had fun with Anthony, whatever Falcon's name is,
Anthony
Mackie.
Mackie.
Yeah, it's like the
thing is though, he's arguably my favorite character. Cap? I think Cap has the best arc. Tony's up there, but Tony also backpedals a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I guess when I'm thinking of arcs, so going from Captain America, First Avenger till Infinity War, he's kind of the same. Well, I guess not. In First Avenger
morally, he's the same.
Yeah. So I guess a better comparison, because he had a drastic change from Cap 1 to 2, or Cap 2 came out after Avengers, right?
Yeah, so Cap 1 to Avengers.
To Avengers, right.
He was adjusting to this whole new world.
Yeah. So from Avengers 1 to Avengers Infinity War, he's basically the same person. He just is a little more outlandish and outsiderish in Infinity War. Tony, on the other hand, he went from like this, cocky, invincible superhero guy to now he's like, I have to save the world because it's my job. Yeah. He's like, I'm here for a reason, and this is the reason.
But I feel like when we get, again, I agree. He was cocky ass, and then he just he understands everything. But once like Civil War happens, and even like Age of Ultron, like he caused that issue. He knew it was going to be an issue, but he didn't care because he just wanted to find the solution. Yeah, that backfired, and he's like, okay, well, we're gonna do this whole the Accords in Civil War and talk about that. And it's like, to me personally, that's backpedaling in sorts, that for what he's doing, that he's kind of going against everything, and he kind of set up.
Yeah, I feel like it was like internal guilt why he did that.
And again, throughout the whole, even we were watching Civil War, like the whole time he would do something stupid and he'd be like, I guess I shouldn't have done that. It's like, learn. And that's, but again, I think I agree. Like they both have like big arcs. In general. Yeah. But from where he goes there to Infinity War, like he's a much better person in my opinion, and that's why I'm like I can see him dying because he's at an all-time high right now, and he's okay with just sacrificing himself just to like save the world. Yeah,
and I'd be fine with Iron Man dying because it would put a bookend to the entire MCU because he started it. He might as well be the one to finish it, and which is why I think if he does die, it's got to be in a way that it's like a perfect send off to him, Like, so in Infinity War, when he got stabbed during that fight, like, the entire theater went silent, and I'm like, now, it'd be cool if he died because of the whole emotion around it, but this better not be how he dies.
No, I already saw set pics from Endgame, so I was like, well, these three people are okay.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Hulk, Cap, and Iron Man, and then Ant-Man, because I was like, well, Ant-Man's going to have to be one of these.
He won't die. He's too fun. And, and obviously, Captain Marvel won't die as much as...
Oh yeah, she is in this movie.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I do so.
I didn't mind Captain America or Captain Marvel. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was all right, but it wasn't. It had nothing to do with like her or anything. I just think the writing was just awful. Not awful, but just like it could have been way better. Like Wonder Woman is a good example of how to do that. Like a first female lead per se, like movie, because that was just a good movie. Captain Marvel just felt like again like a filler movie. Like it has to connect the dots of sorts. It can't be on its own.
The music in it ruined it. Like her big fight and what song did they play?
Just a girl.
Yeah, and it's like you're hitting it way too hard on the head right here. It's like you're being way too obvious.
That's what Chris Stuckman said. Do you know who Chris Stuckman is?
I don't.
Oh, he's a YouTuber. He does movie reviews, but he was talking about that. It's like just something hitting you on the head with that song.
It's if they didn't have that song, like because as far as she go, and I didn't think I was gonna like Brie Larson going into it just based off the trailers for Captain Marvel, because when I think Captain Marvel, I think of like this strong, powerful woman, and the trailers all had her be like kind of. Not timid. Yeah, like timid. Timid isn't the right word. She wasn't, but yeah, it's just like kind of monotone in that. But then watching her, it's like, I can get behind this.
Yeah, I think if she has better dialogue, she'll be more effective.
And assuming Endgame is not by the writers of Captain Marvel. Also, it will be really interesting because she filmed Endgame before her own movie.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so she's going to be figuring out her character in this movie.
Yeah.
Going into the next
they do that,
It's super weird. Like, I don't know. I can't think of a time. Obviously, there have been other movies where the character makes an appearance before they're solo, but I can't think of a time where the solo movie released first, but they filmed it after.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. I just want to know where the hell Goose is.
Goose?
Because, like, where is he? You know what I mean? Like he was in the at the 90s with Nick Fury, and then up to the Avengers, 2008.
Died of old age like a cat.
No, he's not a cat though. He's a flurkin. What if he saved the universe? What if he just
swallows Thanos?
Yeah,
just eats him up.
I'd be behind that. I'd be okay with that. He's cute.
Going back to Captain Marvel and the flurkin, I did like the villain I guess at the end he wasn't actually the villain. That's another thing Marvel does. They always have a secondary villain.
Yeah.
Except with Thanos.
Yeah.
But it's like they have the main villain right off the bat.
Skrull.
Yeah. And then turns out he's not actually the bad guy you think he is.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Whatever.
Get over it.
It's Captain Marvel. If you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to see it.
You're not gonna...
But yeah, so with that one, the Skrull or whatever, it turned out to be kind of their team.
I kind of saw that coming a mile away. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, and I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Just one of my favorite moments in that was that I didn't see coming. Which maybe watching it again, I would see it. But when Sam or Nick Fury holds up the cat and he's like, stick him, get him when they're on that alien ship, and Goose doesn't do anything, so they like basically get arrested. And then the flurkin, or not flurkin, the Skrull, they can shapeshift. He shapeshifts as like one of the guards, and then he says something to Nick Fury, something about some previous mission that earlier in the movie Nick tested the scroll on and he failed. Like, I don't remember, it was like, oh, that time in Cambodia or something like that, whatever it was. It's like that moment when he said that, I'm like, oh, that was good. I'm like, I like that. Like, that was like the perfect use of shapeshifting and drawing back to it, and how Goose didn't attack him. It was like all wrapped together.
Ben Mendelsohn was probably the best part of that movie. The guy who played the main scroll. I liked him a lot. But I think they are also going to have bad Skrull, like actual bad Skrull, come into the MCU at some point. Because even the directors of Endgame are like, we only will come back if we do a secret war or a secret invasion.
Oh, okay. And that involves them.
Yes. So that involves, which they were talking about, like, oh, one of the original Avengers is a Skrull. Or someone from the previous movies is a Skrull. And they said they're going to reveal that in Captain Marvel, which they didn't. So I'm like, well, who's a Skrull then? So I think at some point, if they do the secret war, they're going to reveal that someone was a Skrull the whole time. I still think it's Black Widow.
Or Hawkeye. Those are the only two I can see being...
because they talk about her eyes. They're the girl in Captain Marvel, like the little girls. It's Carol's friend's daughter who's talking to like the little Skrull girl. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, I love your eyes. You should always keep them blue or whatever. And then we were watching Iron Man 2, and Scarlett Johansson's eyes colors were different.
Really?
In one scene, and then like later in the movie, they're like another color. So I don't know if that had to do like with just like casting or whatever, but I thought maybe she's a Skrull because that would make more sense than anyone else. Yeah, she's constantly changing.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything about that, and that's just me spitting out random theories of sorts.
I mean, yeah.
But if I'm right,
mark the date and time.
What day is it? It's February 22nd, 2019.
February. We're a couple months behind.
April, I'm calling it now. So, but yeah, hopefully we're seeing that. Well, we're not gonna see it, but hopefully, this is out before then. So, hopefully everyone enjoys it. I know I'm gonna love it probably.
Oh yeah.
But again, there are possibilities that it could suck, but they're very, very, very low.
I don't. Just based off all the previous, or not all, the most recent movies, and based off the directors and the writers in Infinity War.
Infinity War is so good.
Yeah,
it's my favorite MCU movie, which is not saying a lot by any means, but I would take it as the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I always debate if that or Civil War is my favorite. I always debate between the two because they both have like really, really good moments. Different moments, but good moments.
I always had Winter Soldier up there and Guardians, the first Guardians. I love the first Guardians, and Winter Soldier is magnificent. It's so good.
How'd you feel about the second Guardians?
It was okay. I'm one of the very few people that liked it a lot because it was a lot of character moments. There wasn't a lot of action or anything. Drax was too much for me.
See, I think he was too much. I do like Drax, but I like Drax more in Infinity War than I did
they
in
tried
Guardians 2.
So hard to make him funny, and I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
I like Yondu is the best part in that movie.
Yondu is great.
Yondu and his relationship with Rocket. I love that so much. I love all the characters, and that's what I like about the movie the most. And I just like how Ego is just a bad guy.
Yep.
And that's great to me, personally. Like, he's just a terrible person. Or not even a person, he's just a plant, or a living being. And I liked it a lot. Not a lot happens. It doesn't play a huge role in the MCU whatsoever, but it is like a nice little chapter for the Guardians family.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they do with the third one. Because obviously they're coming back.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So, yeah, I guess rolling from Guardians, you think Gamora is going to pop back in Endgame?
I think she's stuck in the Soul Stone, which I think...
that's what I think, too.
I think the director confirmed that.
Spoiler.
Director
spoiler.
Yeah, right.
So, I think if anyone is actually dead, it's Loki, just because he had a physical death.
Well...
Now, unrelated to the stones.
Yeah. And to Gamora's state, you see her in there, in that world, the Soul Stone.
Her little baby version.
Yeah, so she has to be in there. And I always thought that, too. So
yeah. Because I was wondering, so, like, let's say they did undo the snap in some way, shape, or form. All of them come back. So I was wondering if they would have to do something different for Gamora, or if that would all be tied together.
That's the thing, though. I feel like part of me feels like they're going to go on the Soul Stone, and that's where maybe some of the people that they snapped are, and then they're going to trap Thanos in there.
Oh, kind of like a mirror dimension style thing.
They kind of had that in the Infinity War comic.
He tried. Oh, in the comics.
Because Adam Warlock, who they kind of reference at the end of Guardians 2, how she's like, remember that, like, that tomb, that the gold people
Oh,
and they
yeah.
had like that case, and
Yeah.
she's like, "What are you gonna name it?" I said, "I think Adam."
Adam. Oh, okay.
That's
So
Adam Warlock.
Oh, okay.
So Adam Warlock, I forgot what kind of species he is, but he plays a key role in Infinity War in the comic because he was trapped in the Soul Stone, and then he ends up fighting Thanos, and I think he puts the gauntlet on.
Interesting. Do you think there's going to be any new characters in this movie?
That's one of my bold predictions. If I could see Adam Warlock, I could see them introducing him into this. That or part of me wonders if they're going to introduce any of the Fox licensed characters, like a tiny hint, because they've known for a while.
Yeah,
But
I'm trying
a mention of a name, like a name drop.
Could be because they'd have to have filmed it within the last, because I don't think they would have been. I don't even think Disney would have the balls to film something before it's officially done and signed.
I feel like it was officially done for a while.
They just didn't announce it.
Legally, they couldn't do anything for a while.
I mean that's possible.
I can see that, and I can also see them going back in time and revisiting key characters. So there's going to be a lot of cameos in this movie that we don't know of.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm excited.
It'll be interesting, assuming they do the time travel thing. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. I hope if they do it, it's not just let's go back in time, reverse everything, and we're fixed. I hope it's like we can go back in time and undo this, but there are massive consequences that we're gonna have to deal with.
Exactly.
In which case, like time travel like that, I'm fine with.
And they're gonna go through the quantum realm. I think they focused way too much on that
in Ant-Man.
In Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And everything that's just how they're gonna do it, which I'm all game for.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. There's gonna be a lot of Easter eggs and stuff. I just feel like they shouldn't like necessarily set up the next whatever they're doing, but there should be some hints of sorts, tiny little hints, and I bet they'll have it because it's just the MCU. But at the same time, I would like if there weren't any.
Yeah, I hope
break the tradition.
Yeah,
at this moment.
Yeah, because this, like, I know they're having movies afterwards and all that, and I know they're part of the MCU.
And I know I'm gonna see them.
But I really hope that this is like the final chapter in the last 10 years. Like, if they do have an after credits scene, which I kind of hope they don't. I kind of hope it ends with the normal credits and then just rolls. You know, you have Stanley's picture up there, do all your things. But if they do have an after credits scene, I hope it's something kind of like. I hope it's something kind of like the Avengers, where it was just like a little comedic element, like just to kind of wrap it up. Or I think I don't remember if it was an after credit scene or what, but was it Winter Soldier or something when they're in the new facility and Captain America's like Avengers, and then it cuts off.
That's the end of That's the end of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
The end, not the credits.
Okay,
because the credits of that consist of.
Absolutely no idea.
The twins.
Oh.
And and like Hydra's like, but what about the twins or whatever? Okay. I don't remember the other one though.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, and Thanos. Ha.
It's always Thanos.
And Thanos grabs the glove.
Thanos like, is always.
Guess
at the
I'll
end
do
of
it
Avengers.
myself. Like 5 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do that in the first place.
Jeez.
Could have had.
But he didn't.
Could have spent a lot less money on movie tickets.
Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah. I definitely think it'll be good. And even if there's gonna be moments of it that people don't like for whatever reason, but as long as they just nail the ending, whoever dies or doesn't die, because this is one of those movies where like I'm expecting someone to die, but if they don't, I'm fine with it. Like
I can see them juking us out and no one dies.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but at the same time, kill them. Like
it's
like a good send off.
Yeah, exactly. Like like I was saying, if they die in a good way, that's like I'm satisfied with this death. I'm fine with whoever they kill.
Yeah,
more or less.
So
as long as they don't kill off everyone.
Exactly.
But yeah, like I'm assuming there's going to be some side characters that die, like on the level of Ant-Man. You know, not Ant-Man himself, but or maybe a lot of like the Wakanda people, if they all come back and fighting.
M'Baku's still alive.
Is he?
And Okoye. Yeah, they're both alive.
Where were they? Where have they been in the trailers? Did they just stay in Wakanda?
I'm guessing they're defending Wakanda.
I wonder if Shuri, is that her name? I wonder
she's dead.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in the trailer. Like they showed Peter's face.
Oh, on the hologram thing or whatever.
And in the posters they released, she's confirmed as dead. So.
Oh, okay.
Which I was like,
fine.
So yeah, I'm excited. We're all excited. We're crossing our fingers.
How much money do you think it's going to make?
Ooh, bold prediction.
I mean, it's going to break $1 billion. How much do you think it's going to break $1 billion? 1.5?
Here's the thing.
It's going to encroach on 2?
It's gonna get 2 billion at least. I don't think it's gonna break the record. I think Lion King's gonna break the record. Hate saying it. I think Lion King is gonna attract more people. I think Lion King's gonna be a hit because it's like primetime, summertime. Everybody likes the Lion King. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Talk to people I know. They hate it.
Really?
They hate that they're remaking it.
I don't know. A part of me thinks that Disney's going to sprinkle their magic because they have all the big names on there and everybody wants to go see that.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. But at the same time, I could see Endgame obviously winning this year.
Yeah. What is the record? Like 1.6? What is
2.3
Oh, it's 2
billion.
Oh, opening weekend?
Opening weekend?
Yeah.
Opening weekend.
I know it's over.
It's under 300 million for domestic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely
billion, like worldwide wise. I don't know if it was. I think Infinity War broke like the fastest to $1 billion within like 5 days.
Yeah.
Or 4 to 5 days. Force Awakens did it in a week.
Yeah.
Because that came up 4 and then Endgame or Infinity War came out. So like they hold a bunch of the records, but they're not number 1 overall. Avatar is still number 1, which I hate.
You don't like Avatar?
I don't like Avatar.
I love Avatar.
Ugh, I hate James Cameron though. So.
Oh well, yeah, that probably would set you off.
I don't think it's deserving of like the highest grossing.
No, I don't. I definitely think it got more praise than it should have.
Yeah,
but
and it got more obviously because they re-released it in theaters after it was in theaters, and they brought it back for like a couple months, and it made more money that way. Cause like, oh, let's go see it again.
They did it with Black Panther too, though. So. It's not the only movie they've done it with.
True. But it's not as big. I feel like if they re-released like Infinity War or even Endgame in that matter, it would have broken the record.
Yeah, my thing with Avatar is like I liked the movie. I don't care that it's like story-wise, it's like a direct copy from Pocahontas and like all those stories, and it's like there's plot holes all over the place, but it's just it's a fun movie to watch. It's long, fun, but it's fun.
Yeah, and the ride at Disney is amazing.
I haven't done that, but
it's so fun.
So yeah, it's like as long as it's the same with like Fast and the Furious. It's garbage, but it's fun.
It's fun
like
garbage.
So I will watch them, and I don't like that they already confirmed like Avatar 2 through 20 or whatever it is. That's a little ridiculous.
The last one came out in 2010. Like, was it 2010?
I
feel like it's been like 2010.
No, it's definitely a long time.
It's been a while.
I don't know the exact year, but yeah.
But I feel like Endgame it has the possibility of breaking the record.
I definitely think it will, just because I know there are people going to see it
multiple times.
Yeah, that haven't paid attention to the MCU.
Oh yeah,
don't know why. That's just stupid. They're not gonna know what's going on. But
the thing is, they were talking about domestic numbers for the first weekend. I know we're getting off topic, but they were talking about like, it's projected to hit 250 million within the first weekend.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were gonna say billion for some reason. Oh, no. Like that's like the GDP of a nation.
No. And I could see it doing 300 million. The only thing is that it's 3 hours long, and that kind of cuts, so that hurts you a little bit when it comes to getting ticket times and whatnot. But
and I think based off the time, I think there's a lot of kids that won't be going to it. Like parents who would have taken their kids to Iron Man.
There's gonna be a lot of people that go see it multiple times.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah,
I saw Force Awakens like 4 or 5 times in theaters because it was so good. I saw Infinity War three times.
I don't think I've seen a movie in theaters twice since Finding Nemo.
Oh, what?
And that was just because at that point there were like 3 movies out.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Before those movies, I didn't see a ton multiple times. Besides like The Dark Knight Rises and stuff like that, because that was just a good movie.
Yeah.
So, perfect. Well, I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope we enjoy it. I think we will.
Yeah.
I hope it makes a lot of money.
And yeah, I'm sure next week we'll have a lot more to talk about with it.
I think we'll do next week. So also on that topic of next week, we were supposed to do a Disney thing today. We're not going to do Disney.
Yeah.
We might touch on it next week, depending on how much time we take on Endgame. But we will do one, and it will be very long. But it'll be fun. We'll talk just things about Disney. But next week we'll do our Endgame review. We'll do a non-spoiler, and then we'll do a spoiler
at the end. Yeah. Well, we'll let you know before we start the spoiler,
and
so that way you can cut out if you don't want to, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, because I think you'll see it. We'll record like the day after you see it. Correct?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah. Planning to.
Yeah. Did you already buy your ticket?
Oh yeah. No, okay, We bought our tickets the day they came out. And
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm seeing it like 11:30 a.m. on a Saturday, just because like everything else was taken.
We're seeing it right at 6 o'clock in IMAX.
You realize that's gonna be insane. Like that line. Like I know with So are you going to the theater here with reserved seats? Yep. Yeah. Reserved seats are the best thing ever invented for a movie theater.
Especially with this stuff.
Yeah, because otherwise the line would be insane.
I remember the good old
never
days
get through it. Yeah. Because I think when the first Avengers came out, there was no assigned seating at least at the theaters here. And I remember like seeing that. It's like we had to show up super early and wait for like 2 hours.
Did we see the first Avengers together? I swore I saw it when I was in Iowa City. And I swore I saw it with Miller. And I forgot who else was with us.
We may have.
I think we may have. Because did we get like Lego posters?
Like I did.
Lego Avengers.
I didn't get a freaking poster.
Yeah. I saw it with Miller. I'm trying to think who else I saw it with. Maybe it was Trevor. Anywho, so next week we'll talk about that. And my name is Justin.
And I'm Gavin.
And Guber Talks. We're the GG boys. I don't know what else to call us right now, but we'll make it work.
The Goobs.
All right. See you guys.